First debate round of the first ever Morning debate tournament. Today we have debate on following topic. This house believes that the ice patch challenge and other such activities do more harm than good. On the government side we have Front French, and the opposition side we have Croatia. The judges are Jonathan and Yesenia. Welcome. To debater, please remember that I will nod 2 times. At 60 seconds, I mean first minute, on 7 minutes of each speech to open floor of 2 points of information, like this way. At 8 exact, I will knock 3 times. To the audience, please remember to put your phone on silent, and if you wish to leave the room, please do in between the speeches and not on the video of one. I will now call on the first speaker of the debate. Please welcome Mr. Ritzman.
Ladies and gentlemen, first things first, let's define this challenge for those who haven't gone on the internet since the past decade. The ALS Ice Bucket Challenge is an activity involving dumping a bucket of ice water on someone's head to promote awareness for motor neuron disease. We're convinced that such activities are doing much more harm than good because it causes more than one injury, it's funding cannibalism between charities, and it's encouraging animal testing, and it's definitely wasting water. Ice Bucket Challenge participants keep getting hurt. We can probably all agree that people hurting themselves while taking part in the stupid viral stunt is a troubling trend. A quick search of Ice Bucket Challenge fail, videos turned up as America's funniest home videos, people getting smacked in the head with buckets, people getting knocked over, people falling into bodies of water. The slapstick antics are funny if you're into that sort of should I off or call 911 thing. But an Ice Bucket Challenge fail can also be dangerous, and I can give 1,000 examples. Several Kentucky firefighters were injured in an Ice Bucket Challenge that went awry. The ladder bucket they'd been using to dump water on college students taking part in the challenge got too close to a power line, and 2 firefighters were seriously injured by an electrical shock. 2 others were hurt when they tried to climb the ladder to aid the injured firefighters. And this, ladies and gentlemen, is a dreadful tragedy. 18-year-old Cameron Lancaster died after drowning in a flooded Scottish quarry. While teens have long jumped into the water at that particular quarry, Cameron jumped and didn't come up, because he took part in the Ice Bucket Challenge before entering the water, according to the Independent. A Belgian man landed in a Spanish hospital after a firefighting plane dropped about 400 gallons of water on him as part of the Ice Bucket Challenge, according to the Barcelona-based newspaper La Vanguardia. And an Irish teacher's Ice Bucket Challenge reportedly ended with her running into a pole and knocking herself unconscious, according to Irish Times. The woman appeared to be in good spirits later and posted the video online. In Asia, while the challenge is gaining more and more momentum, the Hong Kong Medical Association issued a warning to expectant mothers, the elderly, and people with heart conditions, saying that there are increased injuries if they take part in the challenge. The vast majority of people who participate in the challenge appear to do so without sustaining life-threatening injuries, but the fails could end up throwing cold water on the entire trend. The Ice Bucket Challenge is for a good cause, but it has been marked by too many tragedies. What I am saying is that millions of dollars raised without causing human damage, human harm, in any way, form, or manner, is an alternative that should be considered to replace this ridiculous trend. The key problem is funding cannibalism, that $100 million in donations does not appear out of a vacuum. Because people on average are limited in how they are willing to donate to good causes. If someone donates $100 to the ALS Association, he or she will likely donate less to other charities, and this isn't just speculation. Research has found that for every $1 a charity raises, at least 50 cents would have been donated anyway. So, because of the $100 million that the ALS Association has received, I bet that much more than $50 million has been lost by other charities, other cancer charities. A similar phenomenon has been studied in the lab by psychologists. It's called moral licensing. The idea that doing one good action leads one to compensate by doing fewer good actions in the future. Amazingly, even just saying that you do something good can cause the moral self-licensing effect. The explanation behind moral licensing is that people are often more concerned about looking good or feeling good rather than doing good. In terms of the conditions of the moral licensing effect to occur, the Ice Bucket Challenge is perfect. The challenge gives you a way to very publicly demonstrate your altruism via a painful task, despite actually accomplishing very little. On average, not including the 92% who don't donate at all. A $20 gift or 0.03% of the average American household's income. And seriously, ladies and gentlemen, when it comes to the Ice Bucket Challenge, people's concerns are misplaced. Celebrities are criticized for getting wet to grab attention. Politicians are knocked for using it to get support. And individuals are told off for doing it without knowing why. So sure, pour a bucket of ice water over yourself, or go bungee jumping, or lie in a bathtub of beans, whatever. But only do these things if you connect these fundraisers with meaningful behavior change. Otherwise, your campaign, even if seemingly fantastically successful, could be doing more harm than good.
Yes.
The ALS Ice Bucket Challenge encourages animal testing. In recent experiments funded by the ALS Association, mice had holes drilled into their skulls, were inflicted with crippling illnesses, and were forced to run on an inclined treadmill until they collapsed from exhaustion. Monkeys had chemicals injected into their brains and backs and were later killed and dissected. A great deal of ALS research funding is being spent on attempts to create animals with genetic mutations that produce symptoms that mimic ALS. Trying to cure human diseases by relying on outdated and ineffective animal experiment is not only cruel, it is immoral. You can't ask animals how they feel about being tested on. The height of this is that FDA statistics states that 92% out of 100 drugs that succeed in animal trials fail once in human trials. Animal tests are mainly undocumented and federally unregulated, and there are 36,000 more efficient substitutes to animal testing. It is a great disservice to people who desperately need cures. Finally, the ALS Ice Bucket Challenge is wasting water. Clean water is a privilege. Only around 20% of the world's population has running water. More than 1 billion people have no access to any source of clean drinking water. And people are filling buckets of water and the only purpose to dump it the next second. And this challenge claims to be doing more good than harm. It is the example we want to give to our peers by doing it, sharing it in the social medias and nominating people to do so as well. Thank you.
Okay. So hello, ladies and gentlemen. Today, Today there is a disease called amyotrophic lateral sclerosis, better known as ALS. About 2 years ago, it was pretty unknown, and then came along a viral trend called the ALS Ice Bucket Challenge, which helped raise money for the research of this disease, which was pretty unresearched because of the lack of money it needed. Today we are debating on the motion. This House believes that the ALS Ice Bucket Challenge and other such activities do more harm than good. In my speech, I would like to rebuttal the arguments that the proposition side brought, and I will present my first argument called raising money, and my second argument will be presented by my second speaker. So, in their first argument, they talk about how people hurt themselves and that people with heart conditions get hurt. It's their choice that they do the Ice Bucket Challenge, and if they have a heart condition, they should think about it before they do the ALS Ice Bucket Challenge, and that is not really the fault of someone who brought up the ALS Ice Bucket Challenge. It's the fault of people who do it because they don't think about their condition before they do it. They must be more careful because they don't think about their condition, and we don't think that this is the fault of the ALS Ice Bucket Challenge. We believe that this is the fault of the people who do it. They talk about the cannibalism between the foundations for charity. So it's a person's choice to donate to whichever association they want to donate their money to, and if someone donates their money to the ALS Ice Bucket Challenge, it's their fault because they can donate to whichever association they want to donate to, and we believe that the ALS Ice Bucket Challenge is good because the association needs more money, and because this is a viral trend spread through social networks, we believe it is a good way to bring up more money for the research of this rare and hard disease. And they say that celebrities and other people do this to get attention. So what? It's good to get attention to this disease, which was pretty unknown. If you asked someone about 2 years ago what this disease was, they wouldn't know. So it's good to bring attention to this unknown disease. They talk about animal testing and that this brings testing drugs on animals. The truth is, all drugs are pretty much tested on animals. So if this drug is tested on animals, it really doesn't bring much difference because the sad truth is all drugs are tested on animals. So it's not the fault of the ALS Ice Bucket Challenge that this drug in specific is tested on animals. And in their third argument, they talk about how this ALS Ice Bucket Challenge is wasting water. There are much more things that water is wasted on, and we believe that if some water is wasted on a worthy cause, it's not that big of a deal because the water is wasted on so many other things. For example, when you brush your teeth, you don't really turn the tap off. So this is this is a thing that water is wasted on, and we believe that if some water is put into doing this challenge, we believe that this isn't such a big deal because water is wasted on so many other unnecessary things. Our first argument is called raising money. So this is a difficult and an unknown disease, and this kind of action brings money to the foundation researching this disease because it's spread through social media, which is a really big media in society today. So we believe that it's a good way to spread the ALS Ice Bucket Challenge, which really helps people bring money to the research of this disease. And the ALS Association has raised $15.6 million, and that is 9 times more than the association would make without the ALS Ice Bucket Challenge. Because this is a rare and unknown disease, it's good that it was spread through social media because it's really a big part of our culture and society today, and we believe that it is a good way to spread awareness about this disease.
And for information.
Yes.
I think that we never said that raising money for an organization wasn't good. We just said that the Ice Bucket Challenge wasn't the good way to do it because they were dead people, and that's not normal. When you want to raise money for an organization, they shouldn't have been dead people. So the Ice Bucket Challenge is basically not good for raising money. Thank you.
Yes, but it is good for raising money because this was an unknown disease, and the association raising money for it didn't have much money to research and didn't have many results concerning this disease. And we believe that this is a good way to spread awareness about this disease and a good way to raise money for the disease because really a lot of people did it, and a lot of money was raised. As I said, 9 times more than it would have been raised without the ALS Ice Bucket Challenge. Also, it encourages people to give money to charity in general because people like social media is a very important part of our culture, and we believe that if somebody sees something on social media, they will probably do it, and it encourages them to give money to charity in general. And people often give money and do this challenge. However, it's true that some people don't give money to the association even though they do the challenge. However, they nominate people, and people know about the disease and are encouraged to know more about it, and are encouraged to give money to this association that is researching this hard disease. So we believe that the Ice Bucket Challenge doesn't do more harm than good because it helps raise money for this disease. It raises awareness about this disease, which was pretty unknown before the ALS Ice Bucket Challenge, and the association that was researching this disease didn't have much results because of the lack of money that was much needed to research this disease. So we believe that it doesn't do more harm than good because it has a positive impact on people who have the ALS disease because they have some hard conditions they are living in, and the association that does this, because of the money they raise, they have some results, and it can help people with ALS. And that's what we're proud to oppose. Thank you.
Good morning, ladies and gentlemen. A few weeks ago, the ALS Ice Bucket Challenge tweeted our Facebook and Twitter's newsfeed. You said that people getting hurt in their you said that people getting hurt is their fault and not the Ice Bucket Challenge. But if the Ice Bucket Challenge didn't exist, don't you think that we wouldn't have to deplore all those dreadful cases? First of all, let's take a look how dangerous the Ice Bucket Challenge is. I will go straight to the point. The Ice Bucket Challenge can be dangerous and potentially deadly. In fact, the Ice Bucket Challenge has been linked with 3 deaths so far. A Scottish teenager, a father of 40 years old, and a fireman from Kentucky, firefighter from Kentucky. People who do the Ice Bucket Challenge with a pre-existing cardiovascular problem such as a heart condition or hypertension are at particular risk from sudden cardiac death, especially if those problems haven't been identified. You said that if people do the Ice Bucket Challenge, they know the risks, but in the majority of the case, the people don't know that they have cardiac problems, cardiovascular problems and
Yes, but shouldn't people with heart conditions think about the ALS Ice Bucket Challenge because they know what it can do to them? So it's their choice to do it and not the fault of the ALS Ice Bucket Challenge because people didn't think about their conditions.
I told you that in the majority of the case, the people don't know that they have a cardiovascular problem, So it happens like that. Sudden cardiac death is impossible to predict, but highlighting the dangers of the Ice Bucket Challenge can help prevent more people dying from it. If you think that doing dangerous things is funny, I'm afraid that you don't share the same sense of humor. Let me ask you a question. Do you think that money is worth people's lives? So now I will talk about the waste of water. Unsafe water is the primary cause of disease, poverty and hunger throughout the developing world. If you don't fix the water problem, you can't fix the economic, health and equality problems. The water problem perpetuates the cycle of water-related illness. Communities have no choice but to drink the water that is making them sick. Until we solve the water problem, ordinary diarrhea will continue to kill more people than any other water-related disease. According to the New York Times, more than 1.2 million videos of people dumping water on their head have been posted to Facebook. A journalist from the Washington Post decided to calculate how much water has been consumed in the process. If an average bucket contains 4 gallons of water, about 5 million gallons of water have dunked heads from coast to coast. That's the equivalent of about 120,000 baths. How can we tolerate such a waste knowing that people are dying because of the lack of safe water? Here are some statistics. 1 child dies every 21 seconds from a water-related disease. Do you still believe that the Ice Bucket Challenge is a great thing?
Yes.
Okay, it's impressive. Last but not the least, it would be naive to believe that people, and especially celebrities, play the game for charity reasons only. The Ice Bucket Challenge became more a way to show up. to attract people's attention and sympathy than to raise people's awareness about the ALS disease. Honestly, don't lie to yourself. Do you really think that the majority of people that have done the Nice Bucket Challenge gave some money to help raising funds?
Yes. 15.6 million.
What?
Collectively, we said in her speech, she said that the
Yes, but the people who do the videos are not giving money.
Yes, they are.
Not
Not all.
majority. All my friends are doing videos. No one did the.
but people
The
do
donations.
donate, not all, but
Yes, but the majority of the people who do donations, there are people who watch videos who know the concept, but who are not specially doing it. You know. The President Obama refused to do it, and I think because this is because he thinks that this is a silly thing. For these reasons and others, I believe that the Ice Bucket Challenge causes more harm than good. And thank you.
If you asked someone about the ALS disease 2 years ago, no one would know what that was. And this is exactly why our second argument is raising awareness, which we think is very important, and the ALS Ice Bucket Challenge does a great job in raising awareness and money for this terrible disease. But I will talk about that later in my speech, and firstly I will review the things that proposition said in their second speech, and then I will return to my second argument and present to you our whole case. Their first point was people who get hurt while doing the Ice Bucket Challenge. As we already said, when you do this kind of things, you have to take responsibility. So the person who invented the Ice Bucket Challenge, it's not their fault. It's not.
Point of
it's not-
information.
No, thank you. It's not the fault of the Ice Bucket Challenge. We can get hurt every day when we are in a car or we, I don't know, travel by plane. We can get hurt, and we have to take that responsibility by ourselves. We can't blame the car because we were in the accident. It is our fault, or the driver's fault, but we took the risk of driving in a car, and this is the exact same thing. If I decide to participate in the ALS Ice Bucket Challenge, then I take all the risks that may happen, and I have to be careful when doing it, not in order not to get hurt. And this is why we think that their first argument definitely doesn't stand.
Point of information.
Yes.
Usually, car conceivers are giving security. You have to put your seatbelt. But here the fundraiser just asks people to dump a bucket of ice water on their head, and it can cause a thermic shock, and it's not safe.
Okay.
If I may add something, not everyone should know about basic medicine. I am not supposed to know that when I throw cold water on me, I could have a thermical shock. Not everyone is able to know that. So the Ice Bucket Challenge is dangerous, and because people don't know the risks, and they couldn't know.
They don't sustain.
Okay.
Like
I think that most of the people know these things, especially because people go to school. We learn such things at school, and I think that you mentioned some examples of things that weren't cardiac diseases or similar things, but like accidents, and I think that those are also risks. I'm not talking only about people who have heart diseases, I'm talking about risks in general, about everything that we do, and we have to accept that. We can't just blame it on the challenge. No, thank you, because we got hurt, because we have to accept the risks, and now I'm moving on to our second argument. So you said that people are not donating to other charities, and they're not donating at all, and they're just doing it for the fame. But in my second argument, which is raising awareness, even if they don't donate money, and people donate more money because we've already said that 15.6 million more dollars are raised more since the Ice Bucket Challenge, and even if they don't donate, they still raise awareness and people know about this disease. No, thank you, and then they can donate money. So this actually helps because this disease wasn't, nobody knew about it, and now we can do something more because we know about this disease. When someone sees the Ice Bucket Challenge, they usually go online and see what is ALS. So this is something how the Ice Bucket Challenge spreads awareness and information about this disease. Yes.
So you think that it's raising awareness, but we just said in our first speech that people are doing it for the bad reasons. And so it doesn't raise awareness.
I will even if I do the Ice Bucket Challenge for fame because I don't know, I'm a celebrity or something, and I want people to think that I'm doing something good, I still raise awareness, even if it's for the bad reason. The result is good. I still raise the awareness for the disease. Maybe I raise fame for myself, but I raise awareness for the disease, and this is what is important, to help people who are sick of ALS. No, thank you. You said that the water is being wasted, but if we can waste water on such things as not being careful when we brush our teeth and similar things, then we consider that it's okay to waste a bit of water to help people who are sick. And I would just like to add something. You said that you asked us, is money worth lives, as people die because they don't have water, but people who have ALS die in the end. So if we find here, we can save some more lives, and this is also important. We can't just say that a disease is less important than the other disease and that we shouldn't raise more money for it. And we think that the Ice Bucket Challenge is a great way to raise money because it's fun and people want to do it, and it's on the media, so people see it often. People use internet every day, so it's well spread, and it's the best way because if it's on the internet, many people will see it and will donate or learn about ALS, and this is how we can earn some more money for this disease in the best way and in the most effective way. Now I'd like to explain a bit more the importance of raising awareness, which is our whole second element in our case. ALS is it was a rare disease, and before this challenge it was really unknown. Nobody knew about it, but since it became such a large thing and since everybody started doing it, people learned more about it, and it became a large trend, and it spread through social networks and social media, and these things affect people a lot. If it's on the media, many people will see it and it will affect them. And this is why we think that spreading awareness about this disease is important, because it spreads information about how difficult and serious this disease is. And it really is. People die of it. And this is why we think that it's important to raise awareness and, of course, money for this disease, and the Ice Bucket Challenge is a great way because it's on the media. And okay, you said that that we waste water, that people do it for fame, and that people get hurt. But these are things that we must be careful about, or that are not so relevant because we do them every day. But the important fact is that we do raise money and we do raise awareness, and we think that if we are succeeding in the goal that the Ice Bucket Challenge is trying to achieve, then it's a good thing. Thank you.
I will start with the famous Einstein quote. Two things are infinite: the universe and human stupidity. But I'm not sure about the universe. And the Ice Bucket Challenge is the proof that Einstein was right. Throwing water on you, throwing cold water on you, is the proof that you're completely stupid. I am absolutely not saying that raising money for the association is bad. Just that the method, which is the Ice Bucket Challenge, is completely stupid, as I said. As my partner said also, the Ice Bucket Challenge has become a trade effect. Well, it is very true. People started to film themselves doing the Ice Bucket Challenge, to post the video on Facebook and get likes and followers on Instagram. The fact is that most of the people didn't even know what the ALS was when they were posting the video on Facebook or Instagram. That's nonsense. In fact, according to the New York Times, 79% of the person who did the Ice Bucket Challenge, who put a video on Facebook or Instagram, didn't donate after it. So, it's a stupid thing. It's just a trade. That's nonsense. Now, let me tell you a story. Last August, I was in Marrakesh with my family. It was the 18th of August 2014, and at approximately 4 p.m. I received a phone call of a friend who told me that a friend of mine, after doing the Ice Bucket Challenge, he did the thermal shock after doing the Ice Bucket Challenge. So I went straight to the hospital, and it was a shocking experience. Just imagine that you are that friend, or you are. Let's imagine that you're his parents. Imagine that your son is doing an Ice Bucket Challenge. He don't even know what is the ALS. He doesn't even know. He wouldn't even donate for the association, and he's just that close to die because of this. That's nonsense.
Final speech.
Final speech. I think. Shut up.
Yes, it's the third speech, not the
They can have
Yeah.
Is it the fault of the ALS? Or is it the fault of your friend who didn't think about his possible conditions?
As I said before, he's not. He doesn't have to know about the conditions of the Ice Bucket Challenge. He's not. He can't know about it because we didn't learn that in school. I forgot who said that. We didn't learn in school that when throwing cold water on us, we could have a thermal shock. We're not supposed to know this.
But how can you blame the ALS Ice Bucket Challenge if your friend didn't know?
I don't understand. What do you mean?
Well, how can you blame the ALS Ice Bucket Challenge if your friend didn't know about his condition?
Because he was doing this, because he wanted to. It was a trade effect. Everybody was putting the video on Facebook and Instagram to get likes and followers. Well, the result is that those likes and followers cost him more than 9,000 dirhams at the hospital, and 6 days at the hospital, and it almost cost him his life. So, do you still think that Ice Bucket Challenge is worth? Do you still think it's a good way to raise money? People die. And when there is smoke, there is fire. The Ice Bucket Challenge is not the good way to raise money. Thank you.
I will start by talking about all about propositions, arguments, and how we negate them. So they said in the first speech that people are hurting themselves and give a lot of So they said that people are hurting themselves, and that it's the ALS Challenge's fault. But we made it pretty clear that it's not the ALS Challenge's fault, because it's the challenge was made for raising money and spreading awareness about the ALS disease, not to hurt people. And people who are doing the challenge should take the whole responsibility if they get themselves hurt by doing it stupidly or not doing it appropriately. If they throw buckets on each other's heads, it's not really the challenge's fault, it's their fault for not, for not doing it properly. So,
More information. Yeah. So by saying this, we didn't want to say we didn't want to sue them in court. We just want to say that it's a stupid trend when we say that it's IDF challenge.
It's not a stupid trend because even if people who are not donating money to it, they are spreading awareness, and people who are donating to it are raising money and spreading awareness. So it's a win-win in every situation, even if they donate or not donate. So they also said in their second argument that people will donate less to other donations, and it's for publicity to make yourself look good in the media. And we said to that people donate who they want and how much they want, and that we said that 15.6 million money is raised for research, which is a big lot. That is a lot of money. So our arguments stand. And what they said that it gives attention to people who do it. It also giving attention to people who do it. Those people give attention to the LSD bucket challenge. So again, the challenge is spreading around. So,
one of information. As I said before, we are just saying that the icebreaker challenge is not the right way. Raising money and we have to find a new way to raise money. Like for example, something like reading books or something like this, reading books challenge. It would be dangerous and it would be good for everyone. But the icebreaker challenge is dangerous. We told you it's dangerous. It's not a good way. It's not a good way to raise money.
It is because it makes people get involved in it because it's fun. It's good because it's everywhere. It's good because it spreads through social media. It's everywhere. People all around would hear about it and know about it. It's a good way to spread awareness. So they also said that water is wasted on pouring yourself, but you take showers, you wash your feet, you use water in your everyday life. This is just a bucket you pour on your head once. It's not really that big of a deal. So, as I will now repeat our arguments. The first one was raising money. So it spreads through social media, and people are donating, even if not all people. Those people who do not donate nominate other people, and the challenge keeps spreading, and sometimes it gets to people who are ready to donate. So however you put it, money is being raised, and the money is being collected for this cause. That brings us to a second argument, which was spreading
information. Money for what? For animal testing and wasting water? Thank you.
No, money for researching for curing that disease. And as we already said, all drugs and medication are tested on animals, so you didn't give us an alternative, so that's probably the best way. I mean,
one information. There is informatics, there is human cells, there is stem cells.
But animal testing for now is the best option.
No, it's not the best, it's the less expensive. And with all that money, don't you think they can afford these other substitutes to animal testing? Thank you.
I don't know. I guess they are doing whatever is the best way to research it. I don't know exactly. But they also said about blaming the LSD challenges for people dying and doing it and responsibly to what we already said, it's not the ALS fault. The people who made it for spreading awareness for that sickness, not for affecting and starting other sickness. So, that's all.
We think that raising money and awareness for such a terrible disease is extremely important. The ALS Ice Bucket Challenge is a great way, and in my speech I will conclude just how we proved that this is a great way. I think that the main clashes in this debate were about the proposition's first argument and their second argument. They said many times that the Ice Bucket Challenge is dangerous. We don't think that it's so dangerous because these are really extreme examples that they gave us. But even if the Ice Bucket Challenge was so dangerous, it's not an obligatory thing. No one is obligated to do so. We're not tortured and made to participate in the challenge. So people who want to raise awareness or money decide to do it, and they take all the risks. Even if someone doesn't know about the risks, I don't know, such as cardio diseases, we still can't blame the challenge. If I die in, let's say, in a car accident, can I blame the car because I died in a car accident? Of course not. This is exactly the same thing. The Ice Bucket Challenge is just something we use to raise money and awareness, and we can't blame it because someone doesn't know about the risks or doesn't want to accept the risks and such things. If people do this challenge for fame, of course, it's not the best reason to do so. But they still raise awareness. They still encourage people to raise money. Even if they don't donate money because they did it for fame, they still encourage other people to donate money. And we think that that they did it for likes or fame or whatever is really irrelevant, because it's still getting to the goal that we set, and that is to raise money and awareness to help the ALS disease. Thank you. To help people who are suffering from this terrible disease. Also, I would just like to come back to the animal testing and wasting water. Drugs are tested on animals because it's, I don't know, the cheapest and the best way, because animals are really similar to humans. So the Ice Bucket Challenge, it's not its fault that the drugs are tested on animals, because all drugs are tested on animals. It's better than to just give it to the market and have people dying from the cure. This is why we test them on animals, and this is the best way, and this is the most practical way, and probably the cheapest way, and this is why we do it so. But even if this was such a bad thing, it still wouldn't be the Ice Bucket Challenge's fault, but the people who decide to test drugs on animals, because we still can't blame a trend that is trying to raise money to help people, because people decide to test drugs on animals and animals die in such circumstances. We think that their arguments are definitely not standing, because the ALS Ice Bucket Challenge is doing a great thing. It has raised money, it's done many good things that we cannot forget, and their arguments are a bit irrelevant, and we don't think that they prove that the Ice Bucket Challenge brings more harm, and we think that this is a great way, since the media is so spread and influence people so much, and raising awareness and raising money is important, and this is why we should definitely think that the ALS Ice Bucket Challenge has brought more good than harm.
You have a question?
We weren't aware of the first speech.
I can say something that would be short.
Okay, well, the 4-minute speech is a chance for you to answer any of their arguments. You cannot bring up new arguments. So if you're going to stand now, you have to answer arguments that they already said. You can't present new arguments.
I just have one question to ask.
Sure. Oh, me or them?
No, them.
You can't ask a question.
No, anyway, never mind.
The reply speech is for you to reply to their argument.
Yeah, I know.
But
I know,
they are turning. We already replied.
everything. So I think we don't need the final speech.
Well, if you get points for a reply speech, so if you don't take a reply speech, you'll get 0 out of 50. So at least stand up and say something. Like logically, you're not making any sense. You will definitely lose. Let me make it very clear. You will definitely lose if you don't do the reply speech.
He was third one. He can't do that.
You are third.
Yes.
Yes.
You can't do this.
So first or second.
Did you guys not read the book that I gave you?
I got Zachary is supposed to do the reply.
Zachariah.
But it's my first debate, so I'm not.
You just say
I'm
this.
not self-confident.
You
know,
just
now.
say
I'm
this
a little
here.
bit stressed.
You just say this here, and it will be okay.
I'll give you some
you
points
just have
for
to-
trial by
You just have
fire.
to do what you already did. You have to.
Okay, so come on, let's do it.
You kept saying that the opposition kept saying that even if people are doing it for the bad reasons, it's still raising awareness, but it's not, because they said it was raising awareness for the disease, but obviously we are raising awareness in people's minds. So it's not for the disease, it's for people's minds. People are doing it for the bad reasons. And you also said well, I think we answered all the arguments of the opposition in our reply speech and final speech. So thank you very much.
All right.
Do you have anything to add?
Can you guys please shake hands?
Yeah. Sure.
Thank you.
Should we leave? Holland? Guys, you should leave.
Yeah, guys, can you come on so we can take pictures?
Just
Team picture, team picture.
Okay, so all of us or?
Yeah, all of you.
That's right, calm down.
take it. And keep it.
Oh,
One more. No, no.
You guys need to talk to you. You want to go in the room? Just come back in 5 minutes.
There was a lot of questions.
First round of the first ever morning debate tournament. Today we have a debate of Parliament Tope. This house believes that the ICE budget challenge and other such activities do more harm than good. The government side we have a National University team, and the opposition side we have ICE University team from Tangier. And the judges are Jonathan and Yasin. You are welcome. To the debater, please remember that I will knock 2 times at 60 seconds and 7 minutes of each speech to open the floor to point of information like this way. At 8 exact, we'll knock 3 times, like this. To the audience, please remember to put your phone on silent, and if you wish to leave, please do so in between speeches, not in the middle of one. I will now call on the speaker of this debate, please welcome Fatima Zahra bin Faris.
Hello, dear judges. The motion that is given upon us today is quite interesting and relevant. This is because of the multiple issues that it touches upon. Today we are standing here in front of you to talk about the Ice Bucket Challenge. So before we move on to our arguments, we would like to set the ground for the debate by defining some of the key motions, some of the keywords to our motion. So we have the Ice Bucket Challenge. The Ice Bucket Challenge is an activity that involves dumping a bucket of ice cold water on somebody's head. And this is done for 2 reasons. The first one is to raise funds for the ALS Association in order to fund their research and find a cure for the disease. And the second one is to raise awareness among the people about this disease. The second word the keyword of the motion is harm. And we would like to define harm as to hurt or to put in danger, but we would like also to drag your attention to the fact that taking away something good from someone is also called harming. And I would like you to keep that in mind for the second intervention that my teammate is going to do. So the ALC, what is the ALC? It stands for amyotrophic lateral sclerosis. This disease gives a person that has it 0 quality of life. It prevents us from moving, it gives them a hard time breathing, and it leaves them unable to do normal stuff, normal daily, everyday stuff that any normal person should be able to do. This challenge has turned into a middle-class web t-shirt to mock the people who have this disease. People do that, and instead of feeling the pain of the patient, they laugh about it. They make a joke out of it. We are here today not to speak about the theory of maybe an honorable and noble idea behind this challenge. Of course we agree, and we would even stand here and applaud this idea because it is indeed honorable. We are here to try and analyze with our best logical arguments the reality, the bitter reality that this challenge has turned into nowadays. I would like just to go back and repeat that the motion states that the Ice Bucket Challenge and other similar activities are causing, are doing more harm than they are doing good. So are doing, this is the present continuous. And anybody who knows a little bit about the English language would say that this would describe an action that is happening right now that takes a long time to happen and that is in progress. So, we are here not to talk about one momentary impact of this Ice Bucket Challenge. We are here to see the effects of it on the long term. I would like to just to break down to you the main 2 categories of our arguments so that you know what we're going to talk about. So this Ice Bucket Challenge, like I said before, is for raising money. So there is something material. Our first range of arguments is going to be the direct and physical harms of this Ice Bucket Challenge. And the second one is going to be social, related to the theme of awareness that this Ice Bucket Challenge is supposed to provide to the community. So straight to the point, I'm going to go ahead and give you my first argument. People died of this Ice Bucket Challenge. A lot of examples, and I can give you some famous examples, like the fireman that died saving the kid that was doing the Ice Bucket Challenge, or even the woman that fell on her head, or the little girl that sent her parents' house on fire in LA, California, trying to do the Ice Bucket Challenge. So there are some physical and direct harms of this, and they do encourage the lack of responsibility and ignorance. This is why we are against this challenge. The second part of the physical harms of the Ice Bucket Challenge, I would say, is the waste of water. a lot of people take a bucket of water and just dump it on their heads. And you might go ahead and tell me that this little amount of water is not going to matter. I'm sorry, the water does not belong to anyone. It belongs to all of us. And wasting some of it on something like this is not something that everyone should be able to tolerate. According to the last UN report, only 1.5 billion people, over 1.5 billion people do not have access to water, and only 20% of the world's population have access to consumable water. And we are wasting water on this. And if you tell me that even that amount of water does not matter that much, what is the message that we are sending? This Ice Bucket Challenge has been, through all this time, sugar-coated to us under the idea of raising awareness. So we are raising awareness of that disease that, by the way, nobody mentions the name of in the videos. But you are destroying the awareness about the importance of water. I would like to say that 8% of the global energy is used on mountain and trees, so we have no water in our planet, and you are sending a message to destroy this fortune. I have a lot of examples of organizations that work on environment that have conducted this Ice Bucket Challenge, that pointed their fingers and said that this is destroying the work that we try to do through the years. I have here Save Our Water Environment, which is an NGO, that said that by doing these actions, people drag the attention, the Ice Bucket Challenge drags the attention of people away from important stuff and make them just laugh about it. We have kids in Africa that don't even have water to drink. So if you show them that video, what are you telling them? You are raising awareness? I don't think so. And I would like to say that if we keep on doing these things under the, I'm sorry, if we keep on doing these kind of challenges and saying that we are doing them to raise awareness, what are we going to do in 20 years? A sand challenge so we can save water? This is a vicious circle, ladies and gentlemen. And if we keep doing this, we are never going to snap out of the real problem. This is why I am proud to propose. Thank you so much.
Ladies and gentlemen, among many famous persons, Martin Luther King said that every man must decide whether he will walk in the light of creative altruism or in the darkness of destructive selfishness. Also said that, do what you can, where you are, with what you have. That means that many people around the world participated in a simple activity called the Ice Bucket Challenge that aimed by simple buckets of ice water to encourage people to donate, care for, and help people who suffer from a dangerous disease, which is ALS, amyotrophic lateral sclerosis. This activity has shown its success because many people, celebrities, politicians, and athletes posted videos of themselves online or on TV participating in the event. The New York Times reported that ALS Association had received $41.8 million in donations from July 29th until August 21st. More than 739,000 new donors have given money to the association, which is more than double $19.4 million, which is more than double the $19.4 million the association received during the year that ended January 31st, 2013. On August 29th, the ALS Association announced that their total donation since July 29th had exceeded $100 million. Therefore, we believe that the Ice Bucket Challenge and other activities do more good than harm for many reasons. Firstly, this simple activity encourages even celebrities to participate and donate. In fact, not only did they participate in the challenge, they then donated lump sums of money. Some benefactors include Tom Henderson, Jimmy Fallon, Bill Gates, Oprah Winfrey, etc. Barack Obama, even if he didn't dump a nice bucket on his head, he gave $100 to the association. Secondly, it is cheap and easy to do. Water, as a generalization, averages at only around 0.01 cents a gallon. If you use a gallon for water and a gallon for ice, it has cost you just around 2 pennies. Even if you don't donate, you have just sparked the curiosity in people to find out more about ALS. This video can take about just 30 seconds. Just 30 seconds. The donation takes about a minute more. Like food banks, where you have to drive to the store, get the food, and then drive to the bank, this can be done in a matter of minutes. People keep finding new ways to improve the ALS Ice Bucket Challenge. And by making it more fun to watch, people get more and more interested. Thirdly, it has raised the awareness for the disease. ALS is a disease that makes a person unable to control his muscles until eventually they can't control their own body. The brain is still functioning, so the person has to watch as he died, locked in himself. In fact, there are 450,000 people who suffer from this disease. Before this year, and maybe a little before, not that many people knew what ALS was. Actually, there have been almost 2.4 million Ice Bucket Challenge videos on Facebook alone, and the phenomenon was mentioned more than 2.2 million times on Twitter. Fourthly and finally, a large pool of donations has been collected. According to the ALS Association, over $100 million has been raised through donations to the ALS. This money was constantly growing because people were constantly being nominated. Research at the National Institute of Neurological Disorders and Stroke is ongoing, and the Ice Bucket Challenge is a fundraising success. As of August 22nd, the ALS Association reports receiving $53.3 million in donations, compared to $2.2 million during the same time period last year. In addition to their global research program, the ALS Association provides services to people living with the ALS. More than this, ALS patients were grateful for every ice bucket, and just watching the videos was an encouragement to them. Besides wheelchairs, home ramping, in-home care, and assistive technology, among many other programs that can benefit people living with this terrible disease. The government side said that it is a waste. This activity is a waste of water. Everyone pays for his water, so he can do what he wants with it. It is a choice, and this amount of water doesn't affect anything, because there are many reasons that lead to decreased amount of water in the world. Also, they said that this activity is is harmful. How can this activity be harmful while it saves many lives? Also, people saves any life. Thanks.
Mr. Speaker, the motion of today is quite interesting, as my first speaker said. And what we've noticed so far from the opposition side, there is no engaging to any of the arguments that the PM came up with. There is no engaging to all the arguments that we came up with when it comes to sociability and the water waste arguments. So before getting to my own argument, let's get to rebuttals. First, the opposition side claim that that the water that as long as I pay for my water, I'm free to do whatever I want. It is true to a certain extent. You're free. There is a freedom of choice or freedom of acts, but that does not necessarily mean a freedom of responsibility. You have money, you pay for it, but you're not free to act as you want. This is because we live in a society and it goes both ways. Second, they come up with statistics with no relevance, just an assumption. They didn't back it up with any relevant arguments. Third rebuttals. They said it was just a simple activity, a simple ice bucket pouring on the hand. It was a phenomenon. It was the Harlem Shake of the summer. It was the whole world was talking about it. It was not simple. So the impact on it was extended toward everybody in the whole world. And this is in specific. This is the harm of it, and I'm gonna go to it through my social, to my argument in the social impacts, the harms on the social. So the impacts. I will be having two extensions to my arguments. First, I'll be discussing the fact of emphasizing and desensitizing people to empathy, to how people don't even realize what the challenge is about. First, the fact of emphasizing and desensitizing people to empathy. Empathy means putting yourself in other people's shoes, right? The fact of imitating and hence literally copy others what they do without really understanding what is it all about. It's not really the point of the challenge. The point of the challenge is, okay, raise awareness and raise funds, but at the same time to understand people and they're going through their pain and all this suffering that they're going through on a daily basis. They made fun of it and they made out of it a joke, which not necessarily the point of the challenge. Two, we've seen videos around it, right? We've seen people copying celebrities and copying public figures and public figures, stars and singers. What we would understand from this video is that X is doing the video because he likes a Kardashian. Why he did the video? Because when he hears One Direction voice, he just got chills. But he didn't do that because he felt empathy to it. He felt a responsibility to raise or to contribute to find a solution or a cure for one of the most mysterious diseases that we have in our generation. There is an emphasis on desensitizing people to the fact to feel responsible within a community and to contribute to find cures for a better world. Two, which actually the direct harm of it is the disconnection to humanity. We're just doing that because of a trend, and it's, you know, if you analyze it, the ice bucket challenge, it was a trend. You know, we were just two months and a half, and now it's done. Nobody heard about it anymore. Okay, it raised funds and awareness on a certain moment, but no, nobody knows about it. And it is one of, it's not the point. Those people that suffers from ILS, we need to support them on a daily basis. As the campaigns that we did for cancer or for HIV, there's a constant battle and a constant reminding of the suffering of those people. For the ILS bucket challenge, all they come up with is pouring us wetting contests that would just, you know, literally freeze to death, as my PM mentioned in her first argument. Two, my second extension is that how people don't even realize what is it about. We've seen in videos that people just nominating others to do that. I nominate A, B, and C to do that, or he will donate the $10. They don't even mention the cause of the challenge. They don't even mention even the name of the disease. They don't even know what is labeled for. So what does that make of us think? The Alc harm is that it makes the society a bunch of followers, and it's dangerous to see all of the great minds that come up with, to fight for a better world, to have a better, people that criticize and have a critical thinking just falls on the water. People are just following others. They did it because they just watched another one do it without having a sense of connection. So the burden that the opposition side has to prove to us that till now they did none of it, just come up with no backed up statistics, just assumption about what it did without really proving to us the goods of the Ice Bucket Challenge. We, ladies and gentlemen, we proved to you what are the direct harms when it comes to physical harms, when it comes to the raising or destroying the awareness of water, that we should not take as easy as that. And the fact of making a whole society or community a bunch of followers, and this is the direct dangerous harm because it is a long-term impact that we cannot just ignore and just pass about it. Because if there is another disease and we just raise a challenge, I don't know, like hit somebody or slump somebody in the face, this will make of us a bunch of puppets. We're just following what is done without really background, just really critical thinking about it and putting ourselves in those people's pain. We should feel more empathized in order to help. If you don't have empathy within you, you can never help. You can never put yourself instead of people's pain, other people's pain and daily suffering. So, ladies and gentlemen, what you do need to remember from this round is we are all for the theory, the basic idea, hence we clap for it. Who would not encourage the fact to find a cure for a disease that any one of us can have? And it's mysterious, nobody knows where it comes from. Everybody, we are for that. But the way it was handled and the way we responded to it was ridiculous and absurd because it ridiculizes the hands and the objective of the Ice Bucket Challenge, of the ILS disease. So I would like to wrap up a bit what I've talked about in my arguments. First, I talked about the imitation and the copying of the society from idolizing stars and the actors and public figures in general. And the fact of doing that is making us just followers without really having a sense of criticism and critical thinking that would actually help the ILS patient and actually make their lives better by just having empathy toward them and come up with a solution, a daily solution, a monthly something that would actually help them and not make them just a trend for 2 months and just disappear afterward. Two, I discussed about the fact that the fact of idolizing, imitating in general, imitating people does not make of us a better society. If we don't think about what we do, it doesn't make of us any better. So for this very reason, I'm proud to propose. Thank you.
Hello, ladies and gentlemen. The government spoke about the water as it is owned by all of us. Yes, it is. That's why everyone is free to do whatever they want with their water, as long as everyone pays for it. And it's too stupid to say that such activity is going to end water from the world. Ladies and gentlemen, 75% of the world is water. So how can a simple activity end water from this world? And also they said that people did not know what this challenge was about. And they said that participants did not know what ALS was. This is just stupid. Let's say that they didn't know what ALS
But do you think that 739,000 of people who donated did not know what did they donate for? Do you think that people donated for something they didn't know what it is? Not to mention that when an ice bucket challenge video is shared on Facebook or on Instagram or any social media, the hashtag ice bucket challenge gives a short story of the disease. Therefore, I consider their argument invalid. And also, they didn't do, and they said that this association did not do good. But I just want you to know that even though they haven't found a cure, they funded projects trying to sequence the genes of 50,000 people with ALS. One partnering with pharmaceutical companies to advance drug treatment, and one developing gene therapy that will reduce the spread of the disease through the body. In addition to that, the Ice Bucket Challenge did not only gather donations for research. Hospitals and labs around the world have received funding, like the University of California, the New York Genome Center, and many others. And also the ALS Association has distributed more than $20 million so far, and has committed to seeing any projects related to drug advancement. It's funded through to completion. And the Ice Bucket Challenge had done absolutely more good than harm. And the most important thing, that its money was used to improve treatment for people living with this disease. If ALS Ice Bucket Challenge If ALS Ice Bucket Challenge did not exist, we wouldn't have all this money to help the drug advancement. And also the government said that there are deaths caused by the ALS Ice Bucket Challenge, but let me clarify one thing, ladies and gentlemen. There are 3 people who died. They died because of their own unconsciousness, so they only got themselves to blame. And since including 739 participants, only 3 people died. We can absolutely call it an exception. And more, we can't compare the very small numbers of victims of the challenge to the huge number of people who suffer from this terrible disease, which is 450,000. And this is not a fixed number, ladies and gentlemen. This number is still increasing every year. Only in the US, 5,000 new people get the ALS every year. So the number is always increasing. So therefore, I consider their argument about copying invalid, because no one can give his money or her money for something that they do not know. And of course, people donated money because they knew they would help people.
Yeah. We are not saying that the people who donate do not know about the disease.
Yes, she
We
said
are
they
saying
don't
that.
take it.
I'm sorry.
Sorry.
Let me finish.
Thank you.
Okay.
You're interested. Thank you.
We're here today for a certain case, for a certain cause. We're defending something. We're defending people. We're not here to say that Ice Bucket Challenge is like here, but not doing anything. We're saying, we're claiming that this idea is a creative idea. It's looking for a horrible goal. But we're just analyzing the goal. Because when we say, for example, Ice Bucket Challenge is here to raise money or to raise awareness among people, if it doesn't work or for it's failed to do that, we would say that it does harm. For example, because when it comes, for example, if we're trying to do a comparison, for example, between the marketing policy between VIH, for example, HIV, or cancer, the marketing policy is used to raise awareness among people. It's more efficient. To back up for the arguments the opposition side used, for example, I was saying that the opposition didn't get our own rate consistent water. We're not trying to say that just a bucket of water would do much in our world, but we're trying to say that, for example, if we're helping people in ILS, and we do because we care for these people, but that doesn't mean we should just dislike or abolish the work done by other NGOs for empowerment or raising awareness among people for the importance of water. Second of all, when she mentioned the hashtag, you just post the hashtag on Twitter, Ice Bucket Challenge, on your Facebook. The hashtag is here to prove that it's a trend. It's really successful when it comes to be a trend. It's funny, enjoyable. Yes?
The hashtag gives the definition of the disease, which you said that people participate and do not know what is the disease. The hashtag is not a trend.
Yes, of course. I'll just get some of my time and explain to you what happened. For example, people are just going in Ice Bucket Challenge or ILS Ice Bucket Challenge. When you go there and see some videos, someone is like putting some ice water in his face or his head, but he's not even mentioning the ILS. He's not mentioning fundraisers. Just passed away about 15 days or 20 days when we had people like mentioning and donating, but after that, it didn't work because people are just like having fun of it. But our goal, our claim is to make another policy that would make people just donate it again and again. Third of all, when it comes to the unconsciousness, you say that 3 people died. You just say it like it's nothing. Come on, people died because of it. Okay, I didn't mean that we should not care about ILS diseases. But I'm saying, okay, just change the way. The Ice Bucket Challenge's idea doesn't work because it's killing people. People die from heart attacks. Okay, if even one person died, should I say, okay, it's nothing. We're trying to save like thousands of people. Okay, if it's 1 or 2 person dies, it doesn't matter. It does matter. If it's just 1 person or 2 people die, we should just change the way. Fourthly, we're not saying that Ice Bucket Challenge is bad. We're not saying that everything about it is bad. We're saying that it didn't work as a way because it's a trend and 2 months passed away. Nobody's hearing about it. It was like, okay, sorry. It was like something that passed and nobody's hearing about it. Okay. So then I'll just bring some the arguments that my teammates say. First, my teammates showed you and talked about the theory. It's a perfect theory. It's a creative way to push people to donate. But it's not pushing them to donate more and to give that potential like donors for this cause. That's not our debate. We're not talking about the theory. We're talking about rather than the harms that the Ice Bucket Challenge as a challenge is not as a way to fundraise. It's not that good. We're talking about the physical and the material harms of the result of the actual doing, especially in the ignorance of the irresponsibility of people, and especially of the Ice Bucket Challenge itself, because people die from heart attack, even if you don't care, but I do. Then, the lack of awareness towards and the environmental responsibilities. Maybe an Ice Bucket Challenge doesn't really matters, but it does when we're talking about a lot of ice bucket challenge, and especially about the importance we're giving to water. And finally, I would say that the most harms and the most important harms is towards society. You know, people, the opposition side say that people are encouraging, especially celebrities, to do it and to do this ice bucket challenge. I say no. Why? Because the celebrity did it first, and people just are following by. It's like a bunch of public trying to do the same thing to look like, okay, I'm doing the same thing as Will Smith or One Direction or Lionel Messi because I love Lionel Messi. Okay, they did the ice bucket challenge, I'm doing the same. That's not what I'm trying to do. Even if you're donating, you just put in your donating. And in most of cases, if we're trying for example, having millions of videos, if, for example, we say just multiply this by 10, we should have collected a lot of money. And we would say if we find some really reliable statistics, and that when you just type it in Google, we don't find some reliable statistics. In this website, we find a number, in another one, we find another one, and in the same amount of time. Because we don't know how the money is collected and how it's going to be used. So, I'm trying here to explain that a certain disease, because a certain disease that really needs investment. So, for example, having just some thousands in America, and people who are investing in the pharmacology or them to do some cures are not interested because it's not really a green market. So here, we're trying to find a way to find the investment, the donation, the donors who would give money to make people to look for cures. So here, what I'm just trying to say is the ice bucket challenge as a challenge didn't work. But the idea is great. The creative idea is a good one, but we're trying here to say if we did look for another one, and especially that this way we choose doing just making the social life, individuals, and the environment just harmful. Thank you.
Hello everybody. The speech that my opponent said was interesting, but in fact he gives just opinions. I will show you. First of all, he talks about it's an horrible goal, but he had forgotten that the first person who created this goal was a patient, was a person who suffered from this ALS disease. Also, he said that we have fun of it. But even if we have fun of it, when we do the ice bucket challenge, we do amazing things. We can show people what is the ALS. We can show in our involvement in this fight. And the most important thing, we can give a smile to the person suffering from ALS disease and give them a hope to fight and survive even if a cure wasn't found yet. Also, my opponent said that people died from heart attack and that the ALS, that the ice bucket challenge doesn't work. If it doesn't work, many people give money, and according to the ALS Association, $100 million had been more than $100 million had been collected on August 29th of this year. He said also that they die from heart attack. But what my opponents forget is that they die for stupid reasons. There have been 3 deaths in 6 months. One died because he jumped from an island. The other died because he put a nice bucket on his head, and he has a...
POI.
Yes.
You're saying that they're dying for ridiculous reasons.
Yes.
This is exactly the point that we're trying to prove. We are trying to say that this ice bucket challenge is in fact ridiculous, and you are just in fact supporting our argument. Thank you.
Thank you for saying. I am saying that people died from ridiculous reasons, not that the ice bucket challenge is ridiculous. They die for stupid reasons, but not because the ice bucket challenge. How can you link someone that jumped from an island to the ocean to an ice bucket challenge? It doesn't have any sense. Also, my opponent said that that there isn't statistics. The ALS Association gave us statistics, and facts are here to prove it. Also, there have been 2.4 million ice bucket challenge on Facebook alone. I think this ice bucket challenge has clearly raised awareness, insofar as we are here talking about it. This ice bucket challenge will reveal to everyone the existence of this disease that probably a lot of people never heard about it before, including myself. Did you know that there are 450,000 persons suffering from this disease, and the number is still increasing? I refuse. Also, my opponent said that when someone do a video, it doesn't spread what is the ALS. Let's take the example of the Bill Gates video. When he do the ice bucket challenge, he gave us what is the purpose for ALS from the ice bucket challenge, and what do the ALS Association with the money that we are collecting. Thank you.
and gentlemen. This is our last speech. I would like, just before starting my speech, to respond to what he said about that we didn't care about humanity. Well, even though there was one person, as he was supporting that we didn't care about one person who died, but we can't, and I will have to say again, to repeat my argument, we can't compare one people dying from a stupid reason to the number of people who died from the ALS. We can count it as sacrifice, and also he died from stupid reasons. He couldn't, I didn't even know which one they were talking about because they didn't specify. Anyway. And again, we can't compare the huge number of people who suffer from this disease. And as a conclusion, people can only live fully by helping others to live. Practicing such activity had for the most part helped people live, enjoy, and hope having a better future. Even though people living with the disease, by seeing other people donating for them, patients feel blessed and encouraged not to lose hope. And we as the opposition believe that the Ice Bucket Challenge do more good than harm. And we have explained how. First of all, it raises awareness among people in social media. Secondly, it is too cheap and easy to do, which makes the number of participants always increase. Thirdly, it is too funny that it encouraged even celebrities and patients to do it, and as we mentioned before, even Barack Obama, even though he didn't pour an ice bucket on his head, he participated by donating. And thirdly, it collects donations for research, for hospitals, and most important, for people living with the disease, and it advances drug treatment, which is a form of fighting the disease by preventing it from developing. And thirdly, the Ice Bucket Challenge, fourthly, the Ice Bucket Challenge was made to make donations to support the fight against the disease, because such very dangerous and harmful disease needs enormous amounts of money to do research. The ALS Association President, Barbara Newhouse, said that they had a sense of urgency. This is why they were tripling the amount annually, and they had to work quickly so as researchers could research. And we gave valid arguments because we were supporting people, we were supporting donations, we were supporting humanity, and more, we were defending the Ice Bucket Challenge. We did no harm. And also, I would like to say that they failed to prove us and to show us what harm did it do. They only were struggling to show us that one person died, and they were like defending that person who died like they were defending humanity. But if you would say that you're defending humanity, then you should defend the number of people who die and who suffer from the ALS, who suffer from this dangerous illness. And the arguments they gave were, firstly, people copied and did not know about the disease, but we responded saying that people would not donate such big amounts of money to something they do not know what it is. And people would not throw their money to something they don't know. And the number is 739 donors. $739,000. So it's just stupid to say that this very big number of donors do not know what would they donate it for. Thank you.
Hello once again. Defending humanity, saving the world. Such big words that the members of the opposite team are putting in our faces. They are defending humanity, but they don't care if people die. This sounds very logical in my head right now. I don't even know how to respond to you. I would like to talk about the importance of water, because I insist on that. They kept saying that it's cheap. Well, miss, there is no water left on this planet. How come you say that it's worth nothing? And I would like to remind you, since you said that 70% of this planet is water, 8% of the world's energy, we are spending it right now on treating and pumping water from our seas. Do you think that in 20 years and in 100 years we will be able to do that? You are saving humanity, save 2 people in a very ridiculous way, and then let all humanity, the human race disappear in 30 years. Do you agree with that? We, ladies and gentlemen, are not against raising funds for these people who have this disease. We are just saying that there are many other more efficient and durable and long-term solutions that could help those people. They said that the ALS Association has distributed a lot of money. We agree on this. The money is going away, and we need the funds to keep on coming. We do not need this to be a one-time thing. This is why we think that this policy would not work, especially because the researchers are still in progress. We do not know when they're going to figure out the therapy for this disease. So we should give them an amount of money that is not growing anymore, because nobody's talking about it anymore. And it's going to fade away because it was just a hype, and it's going to go off fashion. Yeah. They said that this encourages people not to lose hope. I agree with that. We are all to support people who suffer from the ALC. But I personally don't see how laughing about their pain can make them feel better. Like, please clarify that to me someday or when we finish the debate. This policy is not efficient, and it will not help on the long term. Water is not cheap. I am just repeating myself and just to make a point and say that we should really be aware of that. Water is not cheap. I'm sorry. And I would like to say that they talked about how much the numbers of the videos that are shared proves the efficiency of the Ice Bucket Challenge. I'm sorry. People who do the videos are not the people who are donating. This is the logic of the Ice Bucket Challenge. I can give you the example, which is you might consider not relevant, but I'm going to give it anyway because I lived this. My little cousin, who's 10-year-old, did the Ice Bucket Challenge. He does not even know what the disease is about. He can't even give me what it stands for, what the words are. Like, he doesn't even know about it, but he still did it anyway. So this is not helping people. How is showering in your own garden is going to help somebody that is dying? I am sorry, but I don't see how that is efficient. And for those reasons, I am proud to propose, and I think that's why we are taking the debate home. Thank you.
tougher stock issues and your strategy is